I only learned today that The Full Monty is actually an Oscar-winning film, and I have to say I'm not surprised. Although it's not one of my favourite things, when it comes to celebrating British cinema, I completely appreciate the value that this film has. And also in terms of working class communities, it really, it gives two different opinions. One is that it's great to see these men hardworking doing what they have to, but at the same time it's suggesting that people who are unemployed need to do the quote-unquote full Monty in order to get money. So it's a little bit questionable in its morals, but as a film it is entertaining. It was released in 1997, directed by Peter Cattaneo and written by Simon Beaufoy, and it has a brilliant cast including Robert Carlyle, Tom Wilkinson and Mark Addy, as well as Lesley Sharp, who I absolutely love. And the description from IMDb is as follows. 6 unemployed steelworkers form a male striptease act. The women cheer them on to go the full Monty, total nudity. So as I said, on the one hand, we have people who are down on their luck and they need money and they decide to form a striptease act in order to get the money. So entrepreneurial, brilliant. Courageous, definitely. A bit morally questionable that they have to basically pimp themselves out with nudity to get money. Emotional, because they shouldn't have to do that. It's morally questionable, but at the same time, times were tough. They still are for many people. And sometimes, what other option was there? So it's questionable, but it's understandable. It is ultimately a comedy. And as it unfolds, they come up with this idea. A lot of them reject this idea, and then they're putting together this full Monty group, and we watch as they head to the climax when they have to go naked, and it's intense because you don't know when it's going to happen. You don't know how far into the film it's going to happen. You know it happens because it's the full Monty. It's what the film's about. But you don't know how they're going to do it or what it's going to be like. And I have to say the reason it works, not just because the narrative is pretty interesting, but because we have a great group of guys. Now, the ringleader for me is definitely Gaz, played by Robert Carlyle, and he really carries this film. But we have a great group of guys, all with different backgrounds and different personalities, and they work so well together on screen, and I think that really comes across when you're watching it. It's really engaging. You really want the best for them. You want them to do well. And although I said it's morally questionable that they're doing this, once they start doing it, they get into it and they become quite passionate about what they're doing and they want it to be a success. And likewise, you want it to be a success for them. And I really enjoy following their journey. As I said, it was an Oscar winner. It won the Best Music Original Music or Comedy Score. It was nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Writing. It did not win Best Picture, but it was up against Titanic, so what are you gonna do? It did very well though. It won the Audience Award at the BAFTAs. It won the Best Film, Best Performance for Carlyle, Best Performance for Tom Wilkinson. It's done fantastically well. It's won 37 awards with an additional 35 nominations. It's a very successful film. It's rated 15, you can imagine why. And it is very good. I don't know if this kind of humour would work outside of the UK, but by all means, if you're not from the UK and you really enjoy this film, please tell me. I'd be really interested to find that out. And also, how did you find the accents? Was it fine? I never know when I'm listening to British accents that I'm used to, how people not familiar with them will fare. The Full Monty may be questionable, but it's fantastic as a film. It is brilliant, brilliantly cast, brilliantly directed, brilliant narrative, fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, it's one of the films you need to see before you die.